Hey everyone, this is Manadog with another Starcraft Underground League Season 2 cast. This is the third place match between Legion and Unhinged. We have ManiacBen, a Zerg from Unlegion, versus Melodved, a Terran from Unhinged. Again, this is the third place match. So let's jump into the game. Okay, so we have Melodved spawning in the bottom left as the brown Terran. And we have ManiacBen spawning as the orange Zerg in the top right. These are two, let's see, I don't want to say new players. I know that Melodved is newer. Yeah, so we've got some idle SCVs here, maybe a misclick. But I know Maniac has been around for a while. In fact, he's actually just recently started the Not Another Star League. I would recommend checking that out. If you're looking for a place to play, there seems to be a pretty wide variety of skilled players in there, and it seems like he's doing a really good job with that. So anyway, very standard opening from him so far, and same with Melodved now that he has his SCVs in order. We're going to see if he's going to be looking to wall or if he's just going to place the depot maybe up here for some sort of sim or down here. Maniac sending his Overlord across. He's not worried about any sort of an 8-racks, which probably makes sense. It would be surprising for Melodved to do something like that. Yep, so we have the first supply depot down. It doesn't look like that bothers the mining at all. Sometimes when you put a depot around here but not in the exact perfect spot, it messes up the mining on this SCV. That's not the case here. So there is Maniac's first Overlord. He's going to be doing most likely a 12 hatch, but an overpool is also possible, especially since this is a, well, he's looking for the 12 hatch. He's made the extra drones. He's going down to take that. Melodved look like he's putting, okay, the barracks slightly forward, like perhaps he might be doing a 1-base play here. But if he's doing that, he needs the gas ASAP. Is he going to take it? No, he's not. He's maybe scouting with this SCV. It's a fairly standard scouting time. Yep, here's the 12 hatch from Maniac. Okay, and we got a 12 pool. So we may be doing a 12-12-12 here, which would indicate that he's going to be going mutas after this. Okay. So here's the gas. So this is looking like a 12-12-12. This is a bit more economic. But if Melodved were to do something like an Arax, you'd be in, Maniac would be in pretty big trouble here. But that's not the case, so he's going to be okay. Here's the second depot coming down. Melodved has the scout. This should all look fairly normal. He might know that these, I mean, someone might know that these timings on this gas in this pool seem a little bit late. But that's more of a high-level thing. I don't think I would notice that either in a live game. So Melodved looks like he's planning to take his CC at a fairly normal timing. Yep. Okay, very normal stuff. We have some economic leading plays from these players. First couple Marines moving up, and we have 3 sets of Lings coming from Maniac, so he is he's not messing around with anything that Maniac or that Melodved might be doing. Yep, and he's just gonna let the SCV hang out for now. Maybe put on some pressure. We lost a scouting drone, it looks like. So that's a nice pick off for Melodved. Even though he's going a 2-racks a CAD build, he really needs to be taking this gas fairly soon. Or, yep, there it is. Okay, so Melodved's build is actually some odd placements, but the timing of things is mostly pretty good. He's floating some money a little bit, some SCVs missed and stuff, but overall I think he has the right idea here, and he seems like he knows what he wants to do. Yep, so he's holding this ramp. I didn't see it, but I think Maniac went back and killed his SCV. So Melodved should have an idea. Yeah, there's the 1 kill, that these Lings are on the way. So he's kind of loosely blocking this ramp here. And we almost have our lair done for Maniac. So he should be placing a Spire momentarily. Okay, Ling's retreating back home. Maniac should, that's probably a little back, he may not, yeah, he knows he's mining it, but he doesn't really have much vision beyond that. Okay, hanging back defensive with these Lings. We can see the spire is made in another hatchery, but he needs to take this gas soon if he wants to have enough to actually mine once, once the spire is done, or if he wants to have enough to spawn a proper amount of mutas. Okay. He's droning. Supply blocked though. Melodved has. This is a pretty late academy. For a standard meter timing, this would be pretty scary. Stim is not going to be anywhere near done, and he has a decent number of marines, a fairly normal number of marines, and he's got 2 gas. But he's missing an SCV on his first gas, so he's not mining that one as efficiently as he could be. We also obviously don't have any medics because we don't have a academy yet. There's also no bunker here, so if this had been a pressure play from Maniac, this would be pretty scary. We have this sunk just in case. We haven't really seen what Terran is doing, and we don't really want to think about it. We need to get some drones over to this gas though. Spire's done. 4 mutalisks starting. So for both of these players, these things are a little bit late, but conceptually, it all makes sense. It's getting up to 5 mutalisks. Yeah, it seems like his gas is a little bit late. That's what I was talking about in the natural. He still isn't mining that gas. He's taking it, but he put drones in it, so that's why he's very gas starved. Okay, another barracks coming down. Scanners. So this all looks right. It's just, a minute and a half late, essentially. Good factory timing though. Okay, here's the mutas. The turret was not ready. Let's see what he can get done. It doesn't look like he's necessarily grouping these very well with an overlord. So the mutalisks are spreading and the shots are not as good as they could be. Also note that he's not really spending right now, and he hasn't started the +1. That could mean that he's not really planning to commit to mutalisks, and he just wants to get sort of a early amount of them. What's really hurting him is he's not putting drones in the second gas. But he does have good vision on the map. It looks like he's going to take third. The Hydralisk Den is already down, so that's pretty fast. But he is still continuing to make the mutalisks. And he doesn't really know what's going on, doesn't feel very safe, so here's a couple creep colonies. Meanwhile, Melodved is spending his money well. The SCVs are a bit low, but he is spending what he's mined. And yep, there's a starport. So normally if you have the factory lifted like this, you'd want to get 2 starports, really start the vessel numbers going quickly. Maniac has pretty excellent vision though. Some of it's just random mutalisks stuck about, but he has a lot of vision on the map. Okay, he's up to 7. Taking the third. And now he's mining finally from that second gas. And Melodved just building up his numbers. He's supply blocked right now, not working on a depot, but he does have a sizable army. Okay, he's getting, I don't know if he's going for drops or yeah, there's the science facility. Mutalisks sneaking in the back here. Third on the way though, for Maniac, he's picking off what he can. He's gotten a few SCPs. Looks like we're going to try to go to Hive soon. I think he should be planting the Evo chamber fairly soon, also. Yeah, we have somewhere. Are these? Yeah, this looks like some idle SCVs. Again, just Maniac controlling the map. Third almost done. A lot of hatcheries. He's got a lot of larva production. Yeah, there's the Evo. Hive has started. Spent his money. Everything looks pretty good for Maniac. And Melodved, he's making medic energy, which is a unique choice. But maybe he's found that he likes it in the past. got plenty of lurkers. Maniac has to be feeling pretty safe at this point. Probably start as +1 once he's got the gas. Taking his third extractor. I mean, all this looks correct. Melodved really needs to pressure. You know, you kind of can't really let Zerg just build up like this. Especially if you're going bio, the later the game goes, the more it benefits Zerg. He gets closer and closer to Ultralisks. He's got his armor finally starting. Melodved does have +1, which is nice. He needs to have a second engineering bay, and they both need to be going. He needs to be getting +2. I think he's still only got 2 on this main gas. Okay, oh, doesn't spot it, so Mutilisks get picked off on the way back. He knows it's there now, though. But this should not be bustable, especially not if he's going to go in single file like this, like with these lurkers here. This is not realistically bustable, I don't think, for this army. Okay, he's got both ramp. Typically what you would want to do, but as long as there's no tanks, you want to stack these. So you burrow one, and then you patrol a lurker, so its patrol route ends on top of another, on top of the one that's already burrowed, and then you also burrow that one. And then ideally you also put a overlord over it, so Terran can't actually see how many lurkers are in one spot. They don't really know if they can bust it or not. But just having them there, also very good. Okay, Knight is getting up, connecting these bases. We want to be making a defiler mount very soon. Against a tighter timing, this would be at a point where you would want to have defilers. Things would be getting very scary right now. We're going to give up an overlord here. And, oh, we get that vessel. We lose a lot for it, but getting the vessel is nice. Meanwhile, Melodved's still, he's actually spending pretty well. He's up to 3 racks, building a 4th and 5th, which is good. You probably want to be closer to like 6 or 8 at this point. You need to be thinking about taking a 3rd, especially if you're not really pressuring here. 32 SCPs is also pretty low. So he's spending what he has well, but he needs to just have more. It's easy in this matchup, particularly against Mutilisks, where you lose them to kind of like lose track of how many you're supposed to have. So that's very reasonable. Yeah, we're gonna give up another vessel here. Maniac's supply is looking pretty dominating right now. Better player once told me that if you're playing Bio TVZ, to really be winning, you want to be up a good like 40 supply, and we're down about 30 right now, so that looks a bit scary. We have some idle SCVs. We just don't really have enough, although we've made more recently. Another vessel popping out. We really would need a second engineering bay because once Ultralisks are out, you really need these attack upgrades to match Zerg. Oh, and we found the way in with no lurkers. So there's a big window for some move command, unfortunately, so we're going to lose a lot of these Marines. But there definitely was an opportunity for some damage there. We're not sure what we want to do. You definitely need to be very decisive in this matchup. If he had just moved over here and forced another, pick up and burrow from these lurkers, I think there was still an opportunity to get a lot done there. But it does look like we're taking a 3rd as Terran. Okay, defilers are out. Consume is almost done. We have the +1 armor. Oh, we're getting drops. Okay. So I don't know if we have Overlord speed yet, which you kind of also need for this, but Maniac may be planning to drop the main. There's that big side area on the side where you can definitely do that. Okay, Vessel getting a little vision, but maybe getting picked off in the process. I mean, these Mutilisks, well, I don't know, with a little more control I think these could probably just fight, but just aim move them like that, probably not. Looks like Melodved has changed his mind about taking a 3rd. I have to figure that that's what this SCV was for. So we've almost got Ling attack speed. Yep, we are taking the third. It's just in a tougher location to defend. But we will have more access to gas, although we're floating a bit right now. But I think especially if we're Terran in this matchup, you're going to want to take this one, just because it's much more defensible. This is a very long trek to get all the way down here. It's actually, Zerg actually has a closer path to it from their third. Second armor is going. We've got another Evo coming up. Really get those upgrades rolling. We have a ton of medics, which I mean we did get the energy upgrade for, so makes sense. And we're doing a lot of move commands when we should be doing attack move. Kind of leaving a lot of damage on the table there. So Plague is almost online. For Maniac, he's got a nice fat bank. He should be, yeah, he's looking to take his fourth. This map is a little bit awkward in terms of where you're going to take your fourth. So playing like a standard sort of macro style like this is actually kind of difficult on this map. Link's moving in for potential counters. Now that he's got attack speed, he's seeing what he can get done. It looks like quite a bit. These Marines are only 1-1 at 16 minutes, so there's definitely an opportunity here. And we're move commanding again. These should be attack moves. There's really no reason to be move commanding here because it's an extra click, but you're not realistically going to run into anything that you don't want to attack. Our army is kind of spread out, where once Ultras come out, we really needed to be in more of a ball, and it looks like Maniac has found the third. So there's an opportunity for him to get a lot done here. Yeah, all these SCVs are done. It's nice to still be getting value out of your Mutalisks later on in the game like this. And burning Irradiates is also not the worst use ever for them. Okay, we have a first Defiler moving in. Terran definitely needs to irradiate this. There's really no answer currently. Yeah. Okay, we're going to play against this one. Yeah, that works too. And yeah, we have the Ultralisk cavalry coming up, so Maniac looking to sort of move into that endgame state. Oh, and I don't think Melodved is dead yet, but he is willing to call it here. So that's game one for Maniac. Let's see what our map 2 is. It's the one that's in Korea. I think that means Fighting Spirit. So let's just hope that I'm right. Okay, this is game 2 on Fighting Spirit between ManiacBen, the Zerg from Legion, and Melodved, the Terran from Unhinged. So let's switch over the game. Okay, so ManiacBen again spawning as the orange Zerg, this time in the top left, and Melodved spawning as the black Terran in the top right. It does look like this is Fighting Spirit, so these are the rare people that choose to play Fighting Spirit in 2026. Looks like Maniac is sending his Overlord in the correct direction in terms of the shortest scout, and in the direction where he will find Melodved. A cleaner opening for Melodved this time. He doesn't have any idle SCVs to start. So both these players just very standard, just getting their mining going. I think we saw in the first game that, I think Melodved is like a newer player. I think he joined last CPL. But you can see that a lot of his ideas and his concepts are where they need to be. He just kind of needs to refine it, and he is going for an 8 racks. So this is a bit harder to play, because you need to basically control the attack while also continuing your build at home, but it can be very potent if you can catch Zerg. He may have watched the replay of game 1 and saw in the first game that Maniac went for a 12-12-12. So an 8-Rax would be incredibly scary in that case. If he does it again, but he's not. This time we're looking at an overpool. It seemed. Wasn't really watching, but this feels like an overpool. Yeah, so unfortunately the way these builds line up, this is going to be a much easier hold for Zerg than last time. We do have another idle SCV, definitely something to pay attention to in the future. My score marker is wrong actually, that should be 1-0. Let's see, I can fix that. Alright, there we go, corrected. So we're just going into drones and we're taking the natural. Drone scout in the opposite direction. He scouted the right way, but he's not moving in enough to actually see what's there. So Maniac could know that this is an ARAX, but he does not yet. So he can do it? Yeah, he sees the depot now. Okay, Marines are on the way. Unfortunately, we're not quite sure where, in what direction to go, and Lings are already out. So it's going to be a much tougher situation. Oh, we are hiding. Effectively, we're using cover. But this counter is actually going to be really scary. And we might just die to this, this counter of 6 Lings. Control here is pretty hard. You have to have your SCVs come down, you have to anticipate this. So if you're just going to be fighting Marines against SCVs into each other like this, it's going to favor the, or not Marines and SCVs, Marines and Lings, it's going to favor the Lings. However, we are making a bunker next to this hatchery, although it is entirely in vision, so if ManiacBen is paying attention, he could know that this is coming. This is not enough SCVs for these Lings. It probably would be if we had a Marine or two behind it, but we don't, so. Yeah, this is going to be a kind of disaster for Melodved here. Even if he kills this hatchery, which it looks like he's going to, he's essentially dead at home. So I guess at this point, maybe he could hope for a stalemate. I'm not sure. This is only 2 Marines, so he wouldn't actually be able to ever kill this. And he's picking up the Lings at least, but he's down to 7 SCVs. And no money to make an 8th. Alright, bright side though, we're going to get the hatchery at least. We are picking off some Lings as they pop. Don't know if that quite keeps us in the game, but it is something. There's of course no tech from Maniac. This is obviously a game that's just going to end very quickly, one way or another. I don't know if maybe Maniac just isn't looking at this, but there's not really much of a reason to fight this bunker. You know, the hatchery's already dead. We kind of just need to have some defense and then maybe counter again. Okay, we're starting our lair. Maybe we're looking to do a 2-base Muta, although it looks like we're about to place a second hatchery. So maybe we're doing speed. Oh. Alright, Melodved. Finding the situation a little bit funny. So, in these sorts of situations, when you lose your natural as Zerg against an 8-Rax, sometimes you will go into a 1-base Muta play. But, I mean, I think you can just go kill him. Doesn't have a barracks, he's making a barracks in your natural. So, I think as Maniac you can kind of just do anything. And all the pressure is on Terran. Okay, these might just be rallied. Gonna see what's going on. Ling speed will be done soon. I think he's just planning to follow this with the Ling all in. It's a lot of slow Lings. Okay, a lurker play. Melodved does see it, or he sees the morphing Hydralisk Ben. But again, he doesn't have a barracks anywhere near his base. So we're droning a little bit. Probably starting starting lurker upgrade once we have the appropriate minerals, so that we have a few idle drones here. Oh, we're just sending the links instead. This should do it though. I mean, Melodved really has no way to fight this, yeah. And he knows it, calls it out. So that's 2-0 for ManiacBen. So congrats to ManiacBen. And good game.